Welcome, everybody, to the X8 VRML Season 1 postseason. We are into the North American Losers Bracket today for what is going to be an exciting day of back and forth and ultimately teams being eliminated from contention in this tournament. Their chances of advancing on to play their grand finals live at VRMLCon July 20th and 21st in Denver, Colorado, squandered. And so it's a big weekend for these squads, and I anticipate us to have a solid couple of series here in front of us. We do have two games, Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden and Acer versus Rakuzans up this afternoon. Those matchups start in about 15 minutes. Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden will be first. Acer versus Rakuzan will be second. Acer versus Rakuzan is scheduled to start at 1 hour after the start of Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden, so there is a chance that depending on how long Wrecked vs. Heaven's Garden goes, we may miss some of Acer versus Rakuzan, but that is to be determined. And let's talk about it. If you are tuning in and you're not familiar with what this all is, this is X8, 5 vs. 5 hero shooter, much like some other 2D games you may be familiar with, like Valorant, but in virtual reality. These teams have been playing for 11 weeks of regular season gameplay, where they have been competing for that top 8 spot in the regular season ladder. We then took the top 8 teams after those 11 weeks and pitched them up against each other in a double elimination tournament, which we're tuning into now. This has been multiple weekends of us running this tournament, so right now we're into the second round of the losers bracket, but we've already played through one round of the openers, a second round of the winners bracket, and a round of the losers bracket has already been played out. So there's been a lot of postseason action already for us this afternoon, and it's why it's what we're going to be focusing on here with these squads that are battling up against each other, because they've either made their way through the winners bracket and lost or progressed to the losers bracket. Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden is the first series of the afternoon. Let's take a look at that matchup history to get an idea of what Heaven's Garden has in store for them. And with an 18-9 series last time for Wrecked, Heaven's Garden definitely have a lot to step up to. But we'll have to see. A 6-6 regular season performance from Heaven's Garden means they've played 12 matches over the course of the regular season, so they're definitely putting the work in. And they've fought through the postseason losers bracket. Their first matchup, when they lost initially to go into the losers bracket, up against Eternity, who we just saw beat Acer and advance onto the semifinals yesterday. They lost to Eternity 2-0. They went down into the losers bracket, where they battled against Polaroids and beat them, and are now going up against Wrecked. As, again, Wrecked and Heaven's Garden here should be our first series. But people are somehow not... I'm getting reports that teams aren't able to field 5 in an event where you're competing for hundreds of dollars on the line, and ultimately a 2-night trip, an entire weekend dedicated to being out. And then it's surprising to me that squads aren't ready for the event today. So I say Wrecked and Heaven's Garden is first. I say we're starting in 15 minutes, but I'm reading reports here, and I'm seeing that these teams might not have enough to field the roster. I understand, it's a little bit... I don't know what to tell you guys. It's the reality that we're in here. And so what could happen is that this whole pre-show, this whole stream could be done in 10 minutes, and we might take an hour break before Acer and Rakuzan start, because they're scheduled for an 8 p.m. EST start time, and I don't think they are set to start earlier. So, prepping everybody for what could come. I'll let the mods deal with any potential fallout. But yeah, it seems like I don't know. To the point, the losers here are done. The winner advances on to play next weekend, and we'll see them battle up against the winner of Acer versus Rakuzan. That's, I think, where we're going to put my focus on anything this afternoon, because I do think that series actually might happen. So both teams should be able to field their rosters and play this weekend. So, yeah, a little flustered here because I'm just finding this out now, and we have things scheduled, and it really disrupts what we're doing, but I'll let the mods deal with it. I'm not a moderator. I don't manage the communities. We've already had other games scheduled. We did a game on Wednesday, so I think the president has been set where games can change times. It makes it hard for me as a producer to do anything about to give you a show around that. So I apologize again for what is going to be a very awkward just end of stream after this. I'm thinking, and then you're gonna have to wait an hour. But when it comes around to 8 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. PST, we will be diving into Acer versus Yakuza. Now, this matchup we're going to want to talk about. Yakuza having a tough time through the regular season, not facing Acer yet all season long. And quite frankly, Acer a surprise to be down in this loser's bracket. For me, Acer was a team that I definitely thought was going to be advancing into the semifinals, which is going to be played out next weekend. But they lost to Eternity in a very exciting series. And I do think that if you want something to look back on, watch over. I think it was an hour and a half long series, so it would at least fill the gap before we jump in to Acer versus Yakuza. But if there was ever an underdog story, Yakuza are it. I think Acer are the definite favorites going into this losers bracket series. The question is, what do we see in the semifinals? If teams had full rosters, I think Rect and Acer would be the losers bracket win, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. And yeah, a little awkward because I do think we are going to go to about an hour-long break before we have any games to play because Rect and Heaven's Garden were scheduled first. And I'm continuing to read that it seems that those teams are not going to play today. We'll see. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll get disqualified for not filling enough players. I don't know. I'm not the moderator, so we won't talk about much of that. But, yeah, I do think I might end the stream, create a new thumbnail for folks that'll be going live at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. Pacific, which is about an hour from now. And then we'll jump into that series. I'm going to cut to an intermission and then leave it up for a little bit because I want to make sure that Rect and Heaven's Garden isn't starting in the next 10 minutes. But if it doesn't, the stream will go down, and then we'll jump into Acer and Yakuza at, again, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's what's up ahead of us. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm going to take a brief break while we sort all of this. And hopefully when we come back, it's either going to be Rect and Heaven's Garden or in an hour from now, Acer versus Yakuza. So don't go anywhere. More X8 postseason coming up. Welcome back, everybody. I see plenty of folks in chat confused, as I was, about what is happening this afternoon. And we're still here, which means that we are going to play out Wrecked versus Heaven's Gardens series for this afternoon. It's scheduled to start now in the next couple of minutes. We should be getting into map number 1 in this series. Here is the twist of the day, is that Wrecked likely unable to fill a full roster today in a event where they will be eliminated out of contention for the regular season. They do not have enough to fill their full 5. I think they barely have enough to fill 3 in this 3v5, which I think you can play. I don't think you have to forfeit if you have 3. I think you can play 3v5. I know a 4v5 is allowed, and so I think that's what they're trying to get together here. I think they're trying to get their 4th in. Maybe their 5th will join if something happens on their side, but it doesn't seem to me like Wrecked are going to be able to fill a full roster this afternoon. And so Heaven's Garden are going to come in with a very big advantage today in this series. The last time, again, these squads matched up, it was relatively close. Wrecked did win 18-9, but some points were secured by Heaven's Garden there, and I think at least a map. Yeah, if they got 9, well, it could have been 7 and then 2, technically. 16. I'm trying to do the math. No, I think they could have won a map. I think they would have won a map. Because the only way you can get more than... Or they went to overtime on one map. But anyway, we don't have to theory craft the math. Regardless, it was a close series, and so maybe with an extra player, an advantage here, we could see them come out on top, and not what Wrecked need going into this postseason, to say the least. You know, you get into that loser's bracket off of playing yesterday, and they were just hoping they would qualify through and not lose to their opponent. Blanking on who they went up against. I have it here. Eclipse who ended up beating them 2-1. Maybe they weren't ready for that to be sent their way, and so either way, we are just waiting for a fourth to maybe connect. And yeah, we're just patiently waiting for everyone to get into lobby. We do have 5 on the side of Heaven's Garden. To the point, they are ready to go for this series, ready to play out what could be a short 2-map win. And maybe we'll be able to get into that second series in time, which is scheduled to start in now 55 minutes from now. So, I do appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying what is going to be some good postseason action, some elimination postseason action, where these teams will get knocked out of the regular season and knocked out of contention for that trip to VRML Con in Denver, Colorado. Going to see the best of the best in the North American region battle it out for their grand finals. I think we may even see some intense rematches based off of who has been winning and losing here this afternoon. So, we'll see. We shall see. I do think with Acer and Yakuza, we should expect a full 5v5. But if I were to put my betting hat on, I would definitely go Acer in that series based off of past match. They've never played before, and the win-loss record comparison, definitely Acer more dominant over the regular season, to say the least. They only lost once, and I think it was to Eternity during the regular season. So a rival there, if anything, for Acer. But yeah, they'll be going down to that loser's bracket, and we'll be jumping into that game, like I said, immediately after this one, essentially. I think at the end of the day, they only have a few more minutes left to wait until they do have to start round 1. And we are still waiting on a fourth to get in, as I do see my name now not here. It'd be a travesty if you didn't know who I was, right, folks? Come on. There we go. Oh, no, we've actually lost one on Rex side. So we'll see. Like I said, I think Rector playing 4v5. I guess they could end up forfeiting this series if they can't fill enough. But right now, we're waiting for 4 to join in for Rect and for us to get into this 4v5. And I am seeing here Kerr is reporting in, based off of maybe what I've been saying, that if it is a 3v5, they cannot play. And they will forfeit what could be a map. I think then they may be able to take a 15-minute timeout or a 10-minute timeout. And then if they don't have 4 after that 10-minute timeout, they forfeit the second map. So that's where we're at in terms of us potentially not playing this series today. Does go to show you having Garden's commitment to trying to push through this loser's bracket, though. And if they do manage to make it past Rect here this afternoon, they're going to have a heck of an opponent ahead of them, whether it is Acer or Yakuza. I do see a fourth is in, so I think we've avoided the 3v5, and we are starting with about 10 minutes to spare. So in we go to map number 1 for this series. Thank you all for patiently waiting with me through the tumultuous times of not knowing the unknown, as we say here. You get a little bit more insight into that, peel the onion back a little bit sometimes, and, well, regardless, a map 1 opening up here is going to be kicking off on what I believe is Neo Yakuza for our opener. It does look like we do have Heaven's Garden on the defense. And Wrecked on the attack, so we'll swap sides there. And like I've been saying, a 5v4 is what we are in store for here this afternoon. As we open things up on Neo Yakuza, and we get to watch ourselves a little bit of some X8. Series 1 of 2 and two best of 3s this afternoon. So a little bit of X8 in front of us here today. And like we've been saying, there's a decent chunk on the line. $1,000 in cash coming in from Third Verse, the developers of X8, sponsoring VRML in their first season. In addition, supporting the VRML in flying out the top 2 North American teams. 5 players from each team getting flown out to Denver, Colorado to play their grand finals live on stage. And quickly the 5v4 gets squished back to a...
You're new at this, aren't you?
Well, a quick 3v2, I suppose, as a 1-for-1 trade goes there. I would argue Heaven's Garden would be the underdogs this afternoon if Wrecked weren't at a disadvantage for this entire series. But the duo has made their way to site. No one here home to defend. Where's Siphon? I don't know that either of them had it. So they have to drop back despite having A control for a moment there. They're going to rotate back, grab the Siphon. Dark comes out trying to gather any info, but doesn't, considering their location. And now at the Siphon planted, definitely process of elimination. Siphon planted. In comes Zoom Boy on the corner. Hazmat Dude on the backside. Zoom Boy finds the kill. Psychillo with the scanner down, rotates back, finds the first of what is 2. They really need Hazmat Dude here to support them, considering how low Zoom is. Psychillo with 34 HP, also rather low. Zoom tries to vault up and connects onto Psychillo. With a nice dome out, the scanner will get interrupted by Hazmat.
Defenders win.
And Wrecked are certainly here to play this afternoon despite the disadvantage. 5v4. And at the end of the day, you can still come out on top here today if you are Wrecked. I mean, quite frankly, I've counted them out already in this series because they're at a disadvantage. But hey, right? They're still a top team. And so I anticipate them to give Heaven's Garden quite the contest here this afternoon, despite that disadvantage at the end of the day. That's the real reality of it. Dark comes out, nobody identified, so it means no one is here home to defend. Ult comes out, or ability rather coming out there, the hero ability from Kaiser, but doesn't catch anyone. Another, this time from Quicksaver, doesn't connect. Does take a bit of damage on the peak. Yeah, 5v4, so wherever they go, they're not going to have that player advantage unless, of course, Geyser swings alone with a pistol. Guy comes out trying to find some info. Mimic swings properly right as Akari peeks out. Trio left with a 3v3. Psychillo catches one. Was a 4v3. Zoom Boy finds one. Psychillo goes down. Mimic on the backside leaves Hero alone in a 1v3. Scanner not down. Denied its placement first, so now Hero's going to have to push that site and get the scanner. Team playing into this. Zoom Boy identifying Hero here, and with 10 HP, Zoom Boy will pop out to find that final kill.
Bye phase.
2-0 out the gate for Heaven's Garden. And I'm seeing now I've been pronouncing Rakuzan incorrectly. I went with Rakuzan, but they're saying Rakuzan. I don't know. They're up next, going up against Acer after this series.
Start.
Let's see what Rek can do. Nice swing from Akari, finally getting some movement going here for Wreck, but they're quickly denied by Hazmat. Inside the dome, and the Hazmat pops out. They find the kill they need, and not going the way for Wrecked here in map 1. 3-0 out the gate. Could be a perfect half on the defense at this pace for the likes of the Heaven's Garden defense. After 7 rounds, we swap sides, and the Wrecked squad get a chance at defending. But I feel like the 4v5 disadvantage may impact you even more on defense than it does on the attack. On the attack, you can at least stick together and typically get a player advantage depending on the site if you all push the same site. Huge dash out here from Munich, and they find themselves a double over the top. A triple! The quadra and the ace! Locked in for Munich as they catch out and shut down the entirety of Wrecked. Blink and you would have missed it because it was a dash and a kill. But 4 scooped up from the likes of Munich. Munich? You tell me. I'm already saying things wrong, so. What a dash. What a surprise. I mean, they just
Start.
really good use of that of the character there. Munich looking for more. Another nice dash to get past the hero ability. Flash around the corner, not going to find anyone, but they're going to keep applying pressure. They're on the flank now, and they go down. Akari finds one, hero finds another. And now Akari alone, 1v3. Gets pinched. And a good bit of teamwork from Soze and Zoom. And 5-0.
Bye phase.
I said earlier that there's a possibility that this series goes past the hour, in which case we would end up missing some potential rounds of Acer versus Rakuzan. But at this pace, we'll be done within 30 minutes. And Heaven's Garden will be advancing on to the next round of the losers bracket to go up against Acer.
Start.
Or Rakuzan. Nice opener for Akari. Dart should spot them. Smoke denying vision. A little bit of debuff applied. And as they swing out,
Systems restored.
the ult enabling T to stay alive. Smoke coming in from Akari. Ult coming in here, and oh, that stings on Akari's 30 HP down. They have to rotate off. Hero catches Munich trying to swing in from the back through the smoke. Akari continues to try to rotate. After that ult goes down, they jump up and they miss the rotation through the smoke. And then once T is exposed, they go down. Meanwhile, Zoom Boy fighting against the entirety of Wrecked, which is Akari and Psykilo left. Does go down, and maybe Wrecked get around on the board here. It's up to Hazmat to shut things down and keep the undefeated streak going. And they can't do it. Akari finally puts Wrecked on the board in a dangerously close 7-0 sweep.
Bye phase.
Wrecked bounced back a little bit. An unfortunate loss for our Heaven's Garden, considering they were looking to push this perfect half 7-0 and then transition into the reset for what would be map point. It really does put a lot of pressure onto the opposing team for them to jump into a new side with a fresh economy and have to win. It's a hard task for sure, and so
Start.
Dark comes in, that's going to get a lot of info. They're going to get back in time. They do. They tuck in just in time to avoid some damage. Teleport away from the threat into the tunnel, and maybe for a potential flank here, as Kaiser catches one up through the middle. Munich will also reinforce. T goes down on their attempted flank, but it doesn't stop the rest of this team from trying to pinch on what is Psykilo and Quicksaber, the only two left alive. Quicksaber goes down to a nice swing, and Munich picks up another double. Their second replay of the afternoon as they go 6-1 on the half.
Bye phase.
I have the cipher.
A solid opener, to say the least. It doesn't put them at map point, but they're only 2 away at this point. The 4v5 definitely seemingly impacting Rect here this afternoon.
Start.
Hero ability coming in from, I think, Kaiser. Sword out, sealed in the slice from Mumik. Sight available to be, and now Psykilla, Quicksaber, and Hero have to rotate
Siphon
to disrupt this Siphon plant. Not going to be easy. Zoomboy shuts down Quicksaber rotating around. It's up to Psykilla and Hero on the front lines. Psykilla catches 1, swings for 2. No, on the respawn, can't get it. Zoomboy finds the headshot. The pop out from T, and Hero goes down, and we head to map point. Heaven's Garden
Point.
looking to take our first of 3
Buy phase.
on this next round. Could go 8-1 and lock in a solid W here to open things up. Again, it's a best of 3. Map 1, I believe, home team picks side or map. Map 2, home team picks, or away team picks side or map. One ban is given to the away team only. And I think that's the format for postseason. And like I said, I think the 4-player versus 5 is going to hurt them most when they do go to these defensive sets. Defense forces you to spread and rotate. And when you're down one, spreading can really make it a little bit overly efficient. Good hero abilities coming in, neither connecting at the end of the day. Zoomboy catches Hero, though. And A-Site might be on the menu. And a good pinch between Zoom and Mimic. Teleports straight down to Sight, and Scanner going to go down. On the back end, Akari is going to try and clutch the 1v4 and gets the first kill they need. Swings for the second, finds that. They go down to an ability from Hazmat, though, and map 1 done in a flash and into the hands of Heaven's Garden. Some big plays from Mumik there on, and the MVP at the end of the day. And now we wait for map number 2 and for us to dive into what could be the series decider map for the afternoon. Do patiently wait around for us. And while we wait, a quick shout out to our sponsors. Third Verse coming in, the developers of the game sponsoring the VRML. We've said it a couple of times already, but these teams are competing for a trip to Denver, Colorado to play their grand finals, first and second, live on stage. It's going to be an awesome production. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go to vrmlcon.com to buy them. We've got an exclusive deal with the Holiday Inn Express that expires the 25th of this month, so if you want to get in on that deal, you have to do it now. And ultimately, a pretty exciting July 20th to 21st weekend that you got to look forward to, and if you can make it, you should try to get out there to Denver, Colorado. There's going to be a ton of people. It's going to be a big meetup event, and ultimately you get to see the 2 best North American teams live at that convention too. So if you like those players, you can root for them physically at the con. Obviously unique opportunity, and we are appreciative of that being available to us because of Third Verse sponsoring the VRML and our first season. We're also sponsored by HyperX, giving away $2,000 in hardware at VRML Con. So if you do get your ticket and you do head to the convention, there's a good chance you'll get free hardware from HyperX and end up recurring back the cost of the ticket. So a big appreciation, shout out to HyperX. We also have exclusive VRML ProTube stocks that'll be on display at VRML Con. And a big shout out to ProTube for stepping up and sponsoring VRML and for season 1 of the VRML, or for the second year, I guess, of VRML Con. We are still waiting on a lobby code, a second lobby this afternoon. I'm wondering if we're at risk of the team going down to a 3v5. And if they do, that being counted as a forfeit. I don't know if we're going to a timeout either, because maybe Rect are going to try and buy a little more time for their 5th to potentially join. I don't know. Waiting on the details. And so again, map 2 should be unfurling here shortly. And I guess while we wait, a quick shout out to everyone that has been stopping by. I see Cooper Willis, Michael Sinyard, I am the real Yeti, the Red Yeti. Oh, interesting. Chitties, JD, Trevetta, Rusty, LR, Eventtide Gaming, Waffle, G, the Big Mac, and yeah, I think we might go into a rec timeout here, as they do buy a little bit extra time, hoping to get their 5th into lobby. So I think we'll cut to a brief break, a couple of ads, and when we come back, map number 2 in this best of 3 between Heaven Gardens and Rex. Don't go anywhere. There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Mitchell is right on top, man. And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy can hit to the EMP inside. Oh my god! No! It's about 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
And just in time, just on time, we're diving into map number 2 between Heaven's Garden and Wrecked. It does look like our second map is going to take us to Depot. You can see this one, a very big favorite of Wrecked, with a strong win rate of 67% in comparison to the rather lackluster 40% win rate of Heaven's Garden here. But the disadvantage continues for the likes of... Oh, wait. Oh, I think we... Yeah, we have to restart. Hold on. False start. False start. We did not turn off the bots. And so a team had bots in it, unfortunately. And so, yeah, we will get things sorted shortly here and get into map number 1. And, yeah, we just have to reset the lobby because bots were turned on. And that's an important element right now because it would turn a 4v5 into a 5v5 with a bot, which is why I was initially surprised. I thought that maybe they had their 5th joining into the lobby, but not the case. I think we got everybody in the lobby now, though. And a quick shout out to Tay from Heaven's Garden. I think I've been saying that name T today, so I do apologize. I've been informed it's Tay. And so I'll do my best. I'm sure I'm wrong with... I've said Mumic different twice now. Mumic. I mean, if I get both of them, one of them's going to be right? So, yeah, it's hard sometimes, especially with some of these names, when I'm quick reading them, too, in the kill feeds. But, yeah, Tay instead of T. And, well, a solid performance from the Rank 5 squad in regular season, going up against Rank 3. In what was a dominant map 1 performance. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Show you the scores there. Neo Yakuza. I hope we didn't just start with a random map selected. So I'm not going to jump us into the lobby just yet. Does look like we are starting map 2 here soon. And I think soon enough they'll need to take a timeout if they take any more time getting this lobby set. But is this Depot? I guess. No, this is Midtown. Okay. All right. Apologies for the tech difficulties and delays. I want to get into the game as much as you do. And, yeah, just trying to get info for what is, again, another new lobby that is needed. And again, apologies for the delay for everyone tuning in. I wish I would, you know. So, yeah. Don't have much else I can really even say right now. Just waiting to get into this series between these two teams. So do bear with us as I get the tech elements sorted. I think we're ready. I think we're going to get into map 2 soon. A reminder for those tuning in that Acer And Rakuzan, I think I got that right, is playing after this in about 22 minutes from now. Their matchup will start 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. Eastern. They'll be jumping into their battle for the advancement through the losers bracket. I do think that's going to be a 5v5. So we can expect at least some degree of competition there. But I definitely got to say, Rakuzen are the underdogs in that matchup. You look at Acer's record, 10-1 in comparison to Rakuzen's 4-4, or no, 2-4. I think they have a losing regular season record. Acer have a big advantage, so could be a quick 2-match series there too, despite the full 5-5. But that's the beauty of the postseason. It's the unknown. It's maybe seeing an underdog coming out on top. It's why we're watching this 4v5 right now, to see if maybe Rekt can pull off some sort of magic, down a player up against an opponent that is so far doing very good of capitalizing on the 4v5. I think now, after the third time, we have everything set and ready. And again, apologies for the delay. And we should get into map 2 soon. We'll wait. It's on the players, not me, as much as I would like it to be on our schedule. So we can keep this nice flow going. I am also just one person, so. Just waiting. Is this going to start? Stall tactics are a little bit truncated at this point. We've been stalling for a little too long, quite frankly. This should have been a timeout called by Rekt, and the fact that we haven't started this round already, I think it's probably going to be a timeout taken from Rekt, is my guess. Because this is now, at this point, a technical issue, and so it's a technical timeout, I think, but it's still time 1 of 2 that they have. Not that it matters much, because again, if they're going in 4v5, then yeah, sorry for the delay, sorry for the issues. I can't control these players making lobbies and having tech problems. I will be able to once we're on stage and live at VRMLCon. And I am going to go to a break while we sort this, because I'm not going to sit here any longer. So don't go anywhere. Map 2 soon. And we are here for round number 1 of map 2, finally actually happening on Depot. And here we are. Finally, map 2. And, well, you'll notice that Rect have a full team. So I think they were doing some stalling tactics with some of those lobby issues, and I do think they're going to still get a timeout taken, despite whatever that was. So,
Start.
a timeout down for Rect, but we're here. Into map 2 with a full 5v5 for these two teams. Maybe a chance for Rect to bounce back here off of a tough start, tough opener. Quicksaver kicks things off nicely. Akari finds another pickup on the back end.
Defenders win.
We'll have to swap teams as Rect open things up with a dominant performance 1-0 on defense there, shutting down the attacking rotation from Heaven's Garden. Making sure I do have the rosters correct here this afternoon. Yeah. Like I said, our second game is scheduled to start at 8 p.m. EST, regardless of where we are in this series. So, map 1 of that could be, it depends on how Rect go here in this, quite frankly. But their opener has looked pretty good, and seems like they're back to play a little bit as we get into a 4v3 now. Rect player. Another goes down. Mummick and Hazmat, all that's left for Heaven's Garden on the attacking side. And Mummick does catch one. Scanner does go down. Hazmat here to defend, and they've managed to kill 4 all alone, so who's to say they can't do it again here? Maneuvering around, the footsteps heard, and the pinch from Rect. Nicely done onto the Siphon. They'll grab that, interrupted, and a 2-0 lead out the gate on map 2. I am foreseeing a third map at this pace, though. Power Rect are coming in on the back half with a full roster for map 2.
Start.
Makes me wonder why they maybe couldn't have. I thought it was such an issue playing the game. Should have a good series, though, ahead of us, quite frankly. Bolt comes out. Heaven's Garden looking to push through the smoke pylon. Gonna interrupt them a bit, do a bit of damage to Zoom. Smoke wall up, going through that will end up impacting the Heaven's Garden team with some debuffs, so they don't want to push through there just yet. Mummick catches one, waiting for the wall to dissipate. While they wait, this remaining Rect defense tries to push in. That old just missing the duo. Mamek and Zoom gonna heal up, and Mamek alone. And down the pinch from Psykillo. And Rector up 3-0. We're seeing a reversal in pace, and quite frankly, something we've seen a lot of series in the postseason, where teams tend to dominate one side, so much so that it makes it so hard for the enemy team to come back. Heaven's Garden really need to get some offensive points on the board here, or they are going to have a hard time when we swap sides of gathering every round they'll need on defense.
Start.
Nice kill from Psykillo to start things off for Rekt. They continue to find the early kill leads. I think having that fifth is so vital in a game like this. It allows you to take up the effective positions that you're used to and rely on your teammates to cover certain angles. A little pop-up from Psykillo. Catches some good damage. They don't go down until Tay catches the shots over the top. Grenade there to slow advancement down. Pylon here to prevent any over-aggression from Rekt on defense, but 3v4 here. Damage dealt to Mamek on that pylon. They weren't ready for it. A kill does come through to make it a 3v3 for Heaven's Garden, though. Maybe a chance to get things back in control for them here in this half.
I have the siphon.
Put it down.
Nice pickup from Hero. Keeps the advantage in Rekt's favor.
Pylon down.
Quicksaber only has a small amount of HP. Mamek is identified there on the backside. Quickly dashes up, trying to catch them off guard with the vault up and over, but doesn't vault up and over. They go down to Akari on the flank, and now it's up to Hazmat alone in a 1v2. Scanner will go down.
Siphon planted.
A nice little rotation here from Hazmat to get over here. Mamek drawing the attention. Smoke's getting tossed out. Denial of vision, allowing this duo to push up with a little bit more confidence. A nice wall there. Gonna block vision from Hazmat through the wall, but Hazmat catches the other side of it. Picks up their teammate. Akari's now in a bit of an awkward spot. Where is the Siphon to? Is the question. And are they gonna push for Hazmat in time? They'll catch Hazmat, and I don't think they're gonna get this Siphon defused in time. Oh my gosh, it was close. That was maybe Heaven's Garden chance. They needed to buy 1 or 2 more seconds on Hazmat's side, and that could have been a 3-1. But it's a 4-0 perfect half so far for Rekt. And I see some folks asking what the scores are so far. If you are just tuning in, map 1 went to Heaven's Garden 8-1. This pace, map 2 heading direct for maybe 8-0. Unless Heaven's Garden can get some points on the board here. A huge turnaround, to say the least, in terms of overall preparedness and readiness from this team. This Rekt squad really looks much different with all 5, obviously, in roster. Their confidence seemingly here now, starting to play into their abilities better. And overall, it is just a better performance from Rekt. So I got to imagine mentally they're a little bit more locked in now. Ooh, Kaiser catches the back of one. Also able to scoop up a rifle. Nero finds a double over on opposite site. That prompts Mamek and Kaiser to rotate and push up into what seems to be a site. Mamek's got that sword out, ready to deploy the sword and shield. Oh, gets caught out by Hero. Oh, a nice pickup from Tay over the top. On the flank. Ikari is waiting for this rotation from Kaiser. Kaiser seemingly ready and aware of Ikari, though. Heard the ability coming out, peaks at the right time. 2v2, maybe a round for Heaven's Garden, or maybe Wrecked continue to stay undefeated here on Depot. Scanner does catch one of them. Oh, and a great pinch here as Nero finds one. They're going to fly forward. They'll catch the second. Wrecked 5-0.
Bye phase.
On the half. Starting to dominate. Starting to get into a rhythm. If anything, maybe even surprising Heaven's Garden this afternoon. With the pace that they are setting here today. With this map 2 on Depot going so strong into their defensive favor right now. We're just not really seeing a whole lot of... I mean, I guess they almost got that scanner round win.
Start.
But the early kills aren't coming in. Finally, Mummick able to find one. Back into the 5v4 that they've been winning in. Quickly back to a 4-4 as Atari finds the kill. But like I was saying, just to be able to have your fifth, you can have one in the middle attacking the aggressors. You can have two split to each side, A and B. Your overall defensive spread is much stronger, more consistent. You have better information. It really means a lot to have that full 5. And Mummick gets a little over-aggressive. Dashes into a nice pylon by Quicksaber. And a good bit of utility thrown up here. Interesting that smoke wall didn't go farther, and Quicksaber able to find some kills there on it. Picks up another onto Kaiser and leaves us alone with Tay, who goes down to Quick. And Wrecked quickly take a 6-0 lead in the half. What happened to Heaven's Garden? I don't think they were ready for the full team. I don't think they were ready for this squad to lock it back in map 2. And neither was I. From pre-show to end of map 1, I felt that Wrecked weren't coming in here full focused, quite frankly, with the full roster or serious enough for this elimination series here. But maybe it was just all stalling. All tactics to draw out the time to make sure they had all 5, so when they did, they could bounce back. We're definitely headed to a third map. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stick around. Well, I guess we're not definitely headed. I don't know why I say that. 2 points need to be secured here yet by Wreck. They open things up with a rough start, too, and so maybe Heaven's Garden can get one on the board on the attack. 6-1 is huge compared to 7-0 when you go to that side swap, reset economies, and have that one round to do or die. It's tough. Nice pickup from Hazmat. Oh, and with their ability book out, takes some big damage from Hero. Tay catches another, though. Puts us into a 1v1. Both with 100 HP, both with 100 armor, both at full.
Back up,
Good
restore.
use of Tay's ability there to get them info on the location of their opponent. And a nice flash, but they're not going to extend up off of that onto Hero. Hero has the same abilities, so I wonder if they've already used their arsenal, so to speak, on their initial advance up. Both getting flashed. The swing comes in from Tay, and Hero
Switching
says
sides.
all 7 are ours.
Match point.
We're going to take it to match point.
Bye phase.
8-1 in Heaven's Garden on map 1, and now maybe a shutout map 2 from Wrecked. What a bounce back that would be in this series.
Start.
Into Map 2's map point. If Wrecked win here, we're headed to a third to decide this series.
Step aside. Hang in there.
Oh man, and a good opener for Wrecked here on the attack. The pistol set going their way until suddenly it isn't. A couple dropping down. Hazmat looking to maybe push up, get the siphon down off of a nice smoke wall. A little nervous though. Zooboy finds one. The scanner tries to go down. They fly through the wall and almost go down to a double kill, but it's a perfect 8-0 half
You have a role model.
from Wrecked in a complete shift in momentum, pace, everything. Wrecked come away with a dominating win in map 2. That's not what I expected for this second map of the afternoon, and I do think it probably caught Heaven's Garden off as well. Neo Yakuza 5v4, not much hope for Wrecked. Map 2, 5-5 on Depot, very different. Very different, and an impressive second map. And at this stage, because it's a series decider map 3, we might as well tune into it and see how this series ends. So, we'll get ready to jump into our third map of the afternoon between Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden to figure out which one of these two teams is going to be going up against the winner of next matchup. The matchup actually starting right now, Acer versus Yakuza. They should be kicking off their map the same time as this third map starting, so we'll end up probably missing one map of that series. We'll jump into map 2, see how things are going, and maybe we'll get a third in that site. Again, not what I was expecting here today to go to a best of 3, quite frankly, in this Wrecked versus Heaven's Garden. I thought Wrecked were going to come out 2-0 out the gate, but again, starting down 4v5 is a little rough. Here they are, though. And they've got a real chance of potentially taking this series. So as we wait, another quick shout out to everyone stopping by. I see us all hanging out and enjoying the action. And a big shout out to Third Verse again for supporting VRML and providing us with X8, the developers of X8, a stellar game. Great competitive shooter back and forth. We've been watching some amazing games this postseason, and so it's been a lot of fun to see the best players compete in this game for a chance at what is a pretty sizable prize pool. $1,000 in cash and free tickets and a trip out to Denver, Colorado for 2-night stay at VRML Con July 20th and 21st. It's a good deal. And it's all possible because of that sponsorship from Third Verse, so a big shout out to them. I do think we are going to cut to another break, though. I think maybe a timeout coming in from Heaven's Garden. We'll have to see. Both squads still getting their players in, though. And so once we are full, we will jump into map number 3, see who our winner is, and then go back over to Acer versus Yakuza. So, don't go anywhere. Map 3 coming up. go again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Bruce right on top placement. If there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy, can get to the EMP inside. Two fires. Oh my god! No! It's a half 5, 4, 3.
Interrupt the VRML con ad. But we are getting ready to dive into our third map of the afternoon. So do be prepared for us to hop into Bedrock. Sorry, got distracted. Do apologize. Here we go into map 3. Round 1 on Bedrock. Heaven's Garden on the defense.
Start.
Wrecked on the attack. Oh my! Mimic comes in with the knife around the corner for a triple kill out the gate. That's one way to open things up. They look for another knife kill. Shield comes up and they find a fourth. Can they get an ace with the knife out? No, the sword gets shut down by Psykillo.
Defenders win.
But wow, one way to
My
get things
face.
going is this. I have 4 knife kills as they get another one after the triple. And a surprise 1-0 opener off of a big 8-0 victory from Wrecked in map 2. Heaven's Gardener back on the board.
Start.
That's insane. What a triple kill. With the sword in hand there from Mimic. They have been a vital element of this Heaven's Garden team. Doomboy goes down to a nice bit of an opener, and we've seen this play before from the likes of Acer and some other top teams with a nice smoke wall to deny vision. Planting on the back of the wall in the back corner. Very hard for teams to get to if they don't already have defenders tucked in. It's like a hero ability from Nero. Or Soze came out there. Soze, Nero's ability goes out there and doesn't connect. Hero catches one. Munich trying to be the MVP again. Picks up a double. And a 1v2. Looking for the double kill here to clutch it for their team. Heaven's Garden. Time ticking. That turret, a big disruptive element in Mimic having to come back, come through here. But everyone's dead. And Mimic has done it. Can they get up to the scanner in time? No, they can't.
Attackers win.
They took too long. They got rid of that turret pylon combo.
My face.
Clutched the round for Wrecked. And what would have otherwise been another huge round for Mimic. 8-2 already in these first 2 rounds. 4 kills in each round apiece. Might as well just stay on board this fellow here because that's where all the action is.
Start.
Kari finds one Mimic's here. Does get spotted by the ability tossed out there by Akari. Still, though, doesn't want the team to be overwhelmed, and what a great wall here. Mimic catches 2 through it. Looking for more. They swing but can't find Nero. Nero picks up a double, and now Nero trying to clutch for their team, and they'll find it. Wrecked coming out with a big win from Nero. Multi-kills and a 2-1 lead in map 3. We're here. These teams are both trying to stamp their foot into the ground, plant themselves into the X8 ecosystem, and not let their season end. The loser here gets eliminated in this third map. The winner advances on to go up against the winner of Acer versus Yakuza. That series live right now, but we'll only be jumping into that once this one finishes. And that could be a little bit, considering how this one has been an amazing back and forth. Big opener there for Nero. Another swing out. Nero looking to pile on to their KD that they've already had impressively on display. That clutch. Their ability comes out. Mamek finds another on the back. No surprise. Zoomboy trying to slow down the advancement from this team. Pylons and everything here as Kaiser Soze on the backside goes down. And Mamek continues to be a threat up through the middle. Puts a pause on the entirety of the wrecked offense as they slowly and surely decide to rotate off of that initial push and back over to B. We are into a series. Very one-sided, maps 1 and 2, but doesn't feel that way here for our third map on Bedrock. Mamek is here. Scanner going down. Nero
Siphon
shuts down Zoomboy on the flank. I believe Tay just going to push up for a scanner, interrupt underneath the smoke, trying to get some time down on that scanner so that when they push up for it, they at least have half the charge on it. Another smoke coming in. They push up again to interrupt the scanner, and this time they go down to a peek out from Akari. Nero finds Mamek. An interesting bit of play there from Heaven's Garden to try and defuse that scanner underneath the nose of the offense, but Akari too close, and the defense very much ready and waiting for that push up. I see in chat asking why Mamek didn't save. I think we saw maybe like, I've seen all postseason 1 save in X8. I think 2 when it was in the same map. Don't see a lot of people saving, which is an interesting concept when you do have that the economy you have to manage. We do not focus a whole lot on in the round to round, but maybe should a little bit more. Siphon down. Good ability placement here from Akari. The smoke wall and the smoke sphere, both theirs. Hero ability coming in, allowing the respawn. The ult coming down, forcing anyone inside those circles to take damage or move. Kaiser goes down before their hero ability even connects. So I think it did still hit hero, but didn't kill them. And another point into Rek's hands. Now things are starting to get out of control for Heaven's Garden. This could spiral into a very fast, who knows, 8-1 map 3. Just like we saw with maps 1 and map 2, both going very one-sided. Momentum seemingly swinging very heavily. I'm seeing now that the map 1 still hasn't started for Acer versus Yakuza. bit of a pause in the action here as Quicksaber springs out for a double. No, not ready for Tay on the corner. Does put Hero alone in a 1v2 with 35 seconds left. Their position most certainly given away after having to get rid of that trip mine. It doesn't matter much as they find their counterpart, Tay, going down. Hero surviving that with 82 HP. In comparison, Kaiser low, 28. But wins regardless as they hold the proper angle to catch them out.
Last round and a half.
Heaven's Garden not letting this spiral in a big second round there. It's the first time either team, first time I guess a team that's been losing has gotten 2 points in this series this afternoon. So good bounce back from Heaven's Garden, but is it gonna be enough? Acer and Rakuzan live right now with map 1. We may be fortunate enough to catch that.
Start.
Oh, we may miss it depending on the speed of this. Look at another triple kill from Mummick as they dash out trying to find the full quadra. The ace, but no. And a big surprise dash and an aggressive play. Heaven's Garden finds some success. The ult comes out from Quicksaber, and that does some for them as they fly here.
Backup restored.
Catch the backup of Tay. And the rotation onto Hazmat, overwhelming them 2v1. Sight's clear, whereas the Siphon has to go down. And the retake up next for Tay and Zoom. Oh, Zoom definitely getting some footstep info there. Good smoke wall comes up, denying vision and the cross out, and now both Tay and Zoom Boy not able to work through that position. Ult comes out and a good counter smoke. Going through the smoke debuffs your character. And I do believe also limits your vision. It's not something you want when you're pushing a team with your ult out. So a really big wall there that completely countered the ult coming in there from Zoom. And now Tay trying to battle back against the push. Against the collapse of the heal on the Hero and Quicksaber pushing forward. 1v2. Zoom Boy tucked in. And Zoom Boy doesn't shoot.
Attackers.
What
win.
happened?
Switching sides. Buy phase.
Were they out of ammo? I do not know. What happened to Zoom Boy?
I have the siphon.
They lost tracking. I don't know. But they had both of them exposed with their backs. I mean, 5-2 for Wrecked, though.
Start.
And just 2 more points for them, or 3 more. And they've got themselves a map and a victory. An advancement on their season continues. The loser here is eliminated and this season's done. Hero abilities coming out from both Kaiser and Hero. Tries to catch one rotating up through the cracks, but doesn't. And our pistol round slowly but surely unfurling here.
Siphon planted.
And a big attacking round here for Heaven's Garden. Siphon goes down, but so does Tay. Hazmat finds Psykillo. Hero ability still in play. Goes to the back, but Hero catches the kill. Kaiser on the back end picks the refrag. We're into a 2v2, 2v1. All up to Quicksaber. Siphon's still planted, though, so their job to interrupt now. Well, it is a 1v1, essentially. They come flying out. Ready for the corner peek? They are! Soze goes down! I don't think Saber's going to get here in time to interrupt the scanner, and I doubt Hazmat allows that to go through. And as they peek out, the scanner gets both of them.
Buy phase.
One way to take the round. And they do it with a little bit of style. 3-5 Heaven's Garden chipping away at the lead of Wrecked here in map 3. Yeah, I do apologize. We're not live streaming the game. We don't have other casters to broadcast that.
Start.
As much as I'd like to. And we have to stick to the schedule. We can't have Acer and Yakuza start later. So. Because this went to a third map, we do end up missing that. It is also something that both teams wanted, where they were asking for the game to be delayed by an hour on start time. So it ends up just pushing everything around a little bit. And now we are missing a map of Acer and Yakuza, but it's fine because we're here for the series decider between Wrecked and Heaven's Garden. One of these teams is going to win and keep their season alive. Nice flash and dash. Dome comes down, and sure an easy siphon plant as Moment catches Hero on the rotation. There is another here, though, and as it drops, Sakari springs their trap. Catches a 1-2-3 tap on a Moment over the top, and another round for Wrecked. 2 away
Defenders win.
from taking the series now. As Heaven's Garden just try to weather the storm, battle
Buy
back.
phase.
Essentially rely on Mummick to kill anyone, who's 20-9 for the team right now on Heaven's Garden. Nero, comparatively 16-6, but the kill leader is actually on the losing team. There's a 11 kill to death separation in comparison to the 10 of Nero, so
Start.
the ratio overall better for Mummick right now. I suppose some triple and quadra kills and near aces do help. Multiple of them at this point in this series for Mummick. Bit of a split approach here coming in this time. That doesn't work well for Heaven's Garden at all. Mummick catches one, dashes out for the second, and finds them. Right into a turret. That does some good damage to their HP bar down to 20. Puts Hazmat alone, getting pushed. But a 2v3 nonetheless. Fun to watch Mummick on this character, but we may not see any more of it if they can't make it through.
Defenders
Hero
win.
finds the final kill and Wrecked
Match point.
off of a abysmal start. Down a player, 4v5, unable to field their full roster at the start of their postseason double elimination bracket round. Are now staring down series point. They need one more win to lock in what is a massive comeback off of an 8-1 upset in Heaven's Garden's favor to an 8-0 sweep in Map 2. Meanwhile, Heaven's Garden fighting for their life every round.
Start.
Their backs are against the wall. Their season's lifeline in jeopardy, as they could be done with Season 1 and X8 if they do not win here.
Sends it down.
Well, they will be done with Season 1 and X8. That's a fact. I suppose Season 1 of X8. They may not be done with X8. Anywho. Oh, a nice opener for Nero and a double as Hero finds 2, and that's not what they needed here in their big clutch
Systems
round.
restored.
The restore gets picked apart and wrecked.
Wow, such an honor.
Managed to hang
I'd like to
on.
thank the Academy.
They go 8-3, and they will advance to go up against the winner of Acer versus Rakuzan. That series is one we're about to jump into, but for now, a quick celebration for Rekt, coming back off of a tough Map 1 start, not being ready for this, not having their full roster ready for the series, and then being able to field their team, bounce back, refocus, get 2 maps quickly. A heck of a performance overall from that squad. And, well, I'm going to do my best to see if I can jump in to Map 1 of Acer versus Rakuzan, which is live right now. So do bear with me. Okay. Does look like I have the details here. So let's jump in. See if we can. I think I might have to be in the lobby when they start it to be able to join. Do bear with me as I troubleshoot. I feel like I have been able to jump into a game mid-map. We'll cut to a brief break, celebrate Rek's victory, and then jump into Acer vs. Rakuzan for our final series of the night. So don't go anywhere. More X8 coming up. Okay, well, in a bit of a development, I believe we have a winner for Acer and Rakuzan. I do believe that Rakuzan could not get more than 4. They couldn't get 4 players today. I don't know what's going on. But the losers bracket has really demoralized some teams. But apparently Rakuzan have disbanded as a team before they even went up against Acer. Maybe knowing they were going up against Acer, they just said, we don't even want to play. We're going to lose. We're done. And just quit as a team because Acer is a formidable squad. And quite frankly, I think it was going to be an 8-0-8-0 Acer's favor, regardless of if they were playing or not. Acer are coming in strong into this postseason. And so, what we do have is an amazing losers bracket set up for us next weekend. Next weekend, we'll start with the semifinals matchup Eternity versus Eclipse. That's going to be amazing. The winner there guarantees advancement on to VRML Con to play their finals live at Denver, Colorado, July 20th and 21st. Then we go to the losers bracket where we have Rect and Acer battle it out. The winner there goes up against the loser of Eternity versus Eclipse for that second chance at being flown out to Denver, Colorado to play their second place, to play as the second place team for VRML Con up against whoever wins Eternity versus Eclipse. It's exciting. It's up next weekend. It's when you're going to want to tune in the most. And we do apologize for not having a third map to showcase, or a second series to showcase to you here this afternoon. But hey, we got a good one in off that first series, Rect coming out on top. And I do think that we're up for some amazing series next weekend. Eternity and Eclipse, Acer and Rect. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best X8 you can get your eyes on. There's going to be full rosters. There's going to be no 4v5s. You're going to want to tune in. But for now, a happy Father's Day to all tuning in that are fathers or have fathers or want to give that shout out to them. Happy Father's Day. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's. A quick shout out to our sponsors, Third Verse, ProTube, and HyperX for coming in and supporting Season 1 of X8 VRML. And that's been it. Again, my name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I'll see you all next weekend. Same time, same place for the semifinals in the losers bracket to determine who is our 2 teams that'll play live at Denver, Colorado, July 20th and 21st on stage at VRMLCon. You're not going to want to miss it. Get your tickets now. Go to VRMLCon.com. But until then,